a joy, what an honor and a pleasure to be here and see all of you this first Sunday of 2025. Woo, it's right. A good unity community howl on that is a great thing, for sure. Jane, as she was preparing to go, she asked me if I would come this day. And so it's a deeper honor than it might even seem. I'm so happy to be here. And last time I was here, I think I taught you a song, but I want to really teach it to you today. It's a beautiful song about just being open. The words of it are, you don't have to know the way. The way knows the way. You don't have to know the way knows the way. You don't have to plan the way, feel the way, trust the way knows the way. You don't have to know the way knows the way. You don't have to know the way knows the way. You don't have to plan the way, trust the way, feel the way knows, the way knows, the way knows the way. You don't have to know the way knows the way. You don't have to know the way knows the way. You don't have to plan the way, trust the way, feel the way knows, the way knows, the way knows the way. You don't have to know the way knows the way. You don't have to know the way knows the way. You don't have to plan the way, trust the way, feel the way knows, the way knows, the way knows the way, the way knows the way, the way knows the way. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Beautiful. Okay, now we're switching to the headset, right? Aaron, you got me? If I can keep it on my head. Am I all falling apart? Did I get
No, you got it.
Okay, Aaron, I'm here. Are you here? Can you hear me? Am I on?
Yes.
Perfect. New beginnings. Here we are at the first breath of 2025. We've come through a great transition. 2024 and 2023, in fact, moving us to this place. We've been changing, stretching, growing, feeling the contraction of the third dimensional body and the expectation that perhaps there's something more. There is, in fact, more. We are light. We are the divine essence that shines when this physical form is no more. This light continues to shine. And in this shining light, in this time in the history, we come to know that this present moment is all we really have, right? The past is just but a memory filled with contracted energy and traumas and all the things that we learn from. So in this place, in this present moment, we say to all that has been, that caused us grief, that made us feel uncertain, frightened, and all of the things that just pull us in, that we can now breathe a breath and begin to recognize that in this present moment, this now moment, this is where we are, and we can say thank you for every hard thing, for every difficulty, for every challenge, for every trauma. Recognizing that what its purpose was to inform you, to inform us, so that we can shift that energy field and get out of this contracted physical third dimensional form that we've been moving in this slow vibration in. You see, each and every one of you are here for a specific purpose in this time in history. I believe you chose to be here. I know I did. In the spirit form, I said, yes, I can do that. I can feel all those feelings. I can experience humanity. Bring it to me. I'm white. I can do it. And then I got here and I careened in to a house of 9 children and a mother who had a very difficult time being able to self-regulate so that she could express love, embrace us, and teach us from a place of love. Instead, she was broken from a lifetime of her own wounding. And I grew up bitter. I grew up angry and feeling not very important in the world. I thought I didn't matter, because that was the soup and the quagmire of being a child in an impossible situation, trying desperately to save my little brothers and sisters from her expression of her brokenness that usually came through a voice of anger and unkindness. So we know what we know till we know something new, right? There came a point in time in my life where the old stories of all of the brokenness justified my bitterness in this moment. Therefore, guess what I did? Oh, I told the story. Well, first, and then, and there was that, and I almost died there, and I could spin a tale, keeping all that I felt and experienced quite alive in this third dimensional physical form. And each and every memory triggered an emotion within me that was as if I was in that trauma again, over and over and over. And so I began to seek something to try to ease this pain. Like, I don't even want to be here anymore. How can I keep living in this brokenness? Seeing 8 brothers and sisters all in their own brokenness. What's the answer? And one night, in a deep dream, I'm walking on a path. And I don't know about you, but I don't dream a lot that I remember, but the ones that are big, they stay with me. I am walking on this path, and it's beautiful. The light's coming through the trees, and there's sort of a purple hue on the ferns, and the trees are gorgeous, and I'm walking. And coming towards me is this beautiful being of light. Not a face do I see, not just an outline of form coming straight to me. And in no verbal communication, she transmitted to me, "It's in your bag." I said, "Oh." And I began to pull what was behind me that I was carrying on my back. And what I realized, what it was, a satchel, a hard leather, big, round Santa Claus-looking bag with a wide leather strap that was pulled so tight. So I reached and I went, and pulled it open. And inside, did you all see Star Wars? And Princess Leia is inside the holograph, and she's saying, "Obi-Wan Kenobi," right? That? Well, it was filled with them. But it wasn't Princess Leia. It It was Kate. And every trauma and every brokenness was holographed in this bag. And I said, okay, well, here's when, see, look, oh, see that? Ah. Wait, hold on, there's another. And okay, this one, this was big. But the big kahuna, it's like, hold on, let me go deep. And I'm digging deep. I lose my balance grabbing this big kahuna. I start to fall back. I grab the bag to right myself, but instead I fall backwards. This long fall upon the earth, and the bag comes with me and is over my face, and I am smothering. And I sit straight up in bed and I go, my stories are killing me. My stories are killing me. I cannot carry this anymore. And in my lucid, awake, sort of soft space, I reached down and gathered it up and turned into the woods, and I walked a ways, and there was the grandmother tree. She was big and broad, and her arms reaching out, and I set this bag down with a thunk, and the wind started to shimmer and make noise whispering through the trees, and I said, Pachamama, will you please take this from me? And on the wind and through the trees, I heard her whisper, yes, I'll turn it into air. Was it that simple? Was it that simple? Was it that simple to let go? And this is when I started this journey of trying to understand that there was something to the dream of letting go of the stories. But what was the pathway? I didn't want to just set it under a tree and thank you, Pachamama, for that, and giving me this understanding that it was simple to get out from underneath the heavy load. But now I know that this work is internal. That my mother's apology that I thought would never come is not going to soothe the brokenness. And me pushing and stuffing down so deep that I couldn't see it was also not the answer. This is where new beginnings started to emerge for me on this journey and this pathway to conscious transformation. To recognize one thing: we can recreate ourselves any flippin' time we want to. Do you know that? I want you to turn, right? So in this glorious morning of reinvention, I would like you to turn to someone that is new, that you don't know, and I want you to tell them you're in the process of reinventing yourself in 2025. Go ahead. Talk amongst yourselves.
Just your mic is falling off.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Should I spray my glasses? I could probably. Oh my gosh, was that a flurry of energy? It's swirling in here. Yeah. Well, so while you're sitting there in the reinvention of yourself, I'm going to take a little moment to take a side trip here. Yesterday was the first Saturday of the month of 2025. And in this room gathered 70 women. Here's what I want you to know. We bless and honor this place. We take our journey through this room, blessing and just bringing in all that you deposit here in an energetic field. It is important. We see you, we hear you, and you matter. Please know this. As we gather, we are standing on the energy that you have left us as the gift. Please know that we are aware of that. And as we are here, we are swirling this rhythmic energy upwards. And it sounds like a bunch of silliness, a bunch of women standing around beating drums, and it is not that. It is not that. Let me tell you, it is not that. For we understand that in the blinking of the eyes, we're rhythm. In the beating of the heart, we are rhythm. In the step of our footfall, we are rhythm. We are rhythm. And when we gather in this way, we begin softly, and it builds, and it speeds, and it slows, and it breathes, and it becomes chaos. And some go, ah, and I go, ah, because I know it's going to do this pretty quick. And it does, always and without fail. I tell you this story, one, because I want you to know what happens here. In this time of great change, we are sharing this space with you, and you perhaps don't see us, but feel us, because we're here. And this morning, someone left unnamed came to me and said, we want a men's drum circle. We want a men's drum circle. And guess what I said to him? Well, we'll have to talk about it, because I was in resistance. Sorry, unnamed one. I was like, oh, wait, you guys want to have a competition and see who can be the loudest. I'm not interested. But the truth is that in this work of women coming together, we're recognizing our divine feminine and our divine masculine in perfect balance. So boys, men, grandpas, dads, brothers, if you can find your way to an open mind that says, what does she mean? The divine masculine me, I get that, but I got to balance what? When we balance the divine feminine masculine within humanity, within men, within women, within how we merge in communion with each other, we create magic. We change the world. So if you're interested in changing the world, if you're interested in finding your rhythm, let's do this. Shall we? Would you like that? Can we maybe do that? All right. It takes the brave souls, and then maybe there will come a day when we can all find our way together and drum in a unified field of oneness. Man, woman, children, grandmas, grandpas, all of it. Because that's what I'm all about. That's what I'm all about. Today, I hope that we are knitting here, that we are weaving here, that we are bringing a sense of awareness to the letting go of the things that don't serve and coming into the newness of this now moment. 2025 is historical. This is the time of the Great Awakening. We are in the field of oneness. This is Aquarian. That's it. Sometimes words just go like this, and I go, welcome. We are in the age of Aquarius now. It is not the dawning like the song. It's not coming in. It is here. And what do we do with the energy field that is moving in this? We learn that the third dimensional density of who we are teaches us. So we're into the fourth dimension now, because that's where the lessons comes. That's where the understanding is. What we're doing in this moment in this room is that we are in the fourth dimension. I don't think you're feeling the density of the third right now. You're not, and if you are, bless you, and we'll hold you. But take captive your mind and get right here in the fourth dimension. Leave the troubles behind and listen to the call in your heart to become the light body of the fifth dimension that only holds grace, peace, love, compassion, delight, fun, self-awareness, self-actualization, all of the things that expand us mightily, brings us to a new energy field, the unified field of oneness. You see, when we're in our third dimensional contracted energy, we are all apart from the world. We are separated and broken. Can you say enough is enough? I can say that. So in this moment, I think what we need is to become creative geniuses. Find the creativity within yourself. You all have it. It looks different, but it all is a frequency that is together. So will you turn to the person next to you and claim your creative genius? I am a creative genius. Let's just say it. Hey, you don't have to know the way knows the way, right? The way knows the way. You don't have to know the way knows the way. You can trust that you are in the center of exactly where you're supposed to be right here and right now. This unified field of oneness is not abstract, it is present. Own it. Feel it, connect with it, recognize it, so that every time the third dimensional energy pops up, driving my car, just got cut off. What the heck? Driving my car. Aw, bless your heart. How hard is that? How tough is that? I'm the one that goes, honey, that's a jerk. And he says, ooh, can you be okay with what is right now? I'm like, he said it again. And then I have to honestly sit there and recognize that the old pattern within me just shows up and I can embrace it. I can say, well, it's okay because our emotions aren't good or bad. None of them. They're simply here to show us. It's not good or bad. They're human reactions to life. And it's always okay. Then we don't have to make a story out of it to tell everybody how horrible this was and that was. And, and my husband is a big, and none of that's, And just to be clear with you, I've been married for going on 23 years. And I hold no resentment, not one. Because together, he and I have created this unified field that is not perfect. Every once in a while, he doesn't pick up his underwear and socks. Sorry, honey. TMI? Sorry.
Once in a while, I pick up her.
I make it really easy for him because I go commando. And you know what? I'm sorry, because sometimes irreverence is funny. And I love laughter. Because if it's not fun, what the heck are we doing? Like, laugh. Let's do that. So, back to you're a creative genius. Let's go back there. What does that mean? Soulshine shows you creative genius. Everyone that stands up here and is brave enough to bring their voice to this room is in the energy of their creative genius. I know that is where I am now. This is my calling, and I'm so grateful to be here, to be able to offer you inspiration, empowerment, an opportunity to maybe a little shift. Because here's the deal. The point of the bow of your boat is moving in a defined direction. And when you shift and change and come into something new, let's just say it's a tick. And that tick is going somewhere else rather than in the same mundane, repetitive energy that we held all our lives until now, 2025. We are called to rise. We are called to awaken. And it is time. Do you feel it? There's a new dawn breaking. Can you feel the shift in the air? There's choices worth making, but we've got to stop and find the courage to care. Wake up from your slumber. Our senses are numb. We've been blinded from reality. We've watched murder and war and atrocities more on the couch in front of our TVs. Turn them off, please. For there's a new dawn breaking. Can you feel the shift in the air? There's choices worth making, but we must stop and have the courage to care. Rise up and be counted, stand shoulder to shoulder. There's a wave washing over this land. Turn your murmurs to shouts. It's what awakening is about. We will make change when we take a stand, and I will take your hand. For there's a new dawn breaking. Can we feel the shift in the air? There are choices worth making, but we must stop and find the courage to care. Look in the faces of our children. What legacy do we leave behind? For we chart the course for their future. So let us care for their bodies, their spirits, and their minds. For there's a new dawn breaking. We feel the shift in the air. There are choices worth making, but we've got to stop and find the courage to care. What do we do when we don't know what to do? We open our hearts to an energy of gratitude, which fifth dimensionally is a high frequency. What are you grateful for? Here's what I do in the mornings. I have 5 gratitudes that just flow out my mouth. I used to write them down, and I was very repetitive and using a lot of paper. So I'm just saying, what are my 5 gratitudes this morning? That you are all here, that my beloved stands beside me, that I get to sing with soul shine today. That maybe there's a crack in your pot to let the light in this morning. Let that be so. And I always save the 5th one for this. I am grateful for what is coming. I give gratitude for the unfolding of my life. Because that opens up infinite possibility. And as long as I'm trying to chart the course and make the plans and have expectations for it all, I am limiting the unified field to give me more abundance, more prosperity, more love, more friendship, more of all the things that we desire in this time, in this present moment. So to wrap it all up and put a big bow on it, the 3rd dimensional energy has been contracting us long enough. We are in the center of beautiful teachings, from making our beautiful futures on the page and dreaming dreams, singing songs, engaging with one another, and learning. Always be teachable. Let's always be that, so that we can unfold into this beautiful 5th dimensional energy. It's a unified field of oneness. We will begin to be able to speak to one another like I did to that being. He was communicating, she was communicating without words. So here's another trick I want to give you. Do this. Oh my God, I'm thinking about Margaret King and she just won't get out of my brain. Margaret, I was thinking about you. Kate, I was just going to call you. You're going to find these things happening over and over again, but we have to start developing it. We have to start believing it. We have to start trying it and say yes to it. Text, write, call, whatever that is, move towards the unspoken gnosis that you hold. because we are all threaded together. In science, they are proving when you move, I don't know whatever those things are that they move, atoms, protons, what are they? Can you tell me? I have no idea. But when they move them far away, they've been together, they move them apart, this one reacts the same as this one does. Sort of like you hear about twins across country having a same knowing. Those aren't accidents. We have the capacity to use way more brain cells than we can even imagine. So may I leave you with a blessing of infinite possibility. May you shed, surrender, love, and appreciate every hard thing that's ever happened to you. Thank it for what it was teaching you. And come into this now, present moment, knowing that you were called here to expand your energy, to do all that is expansive, and to offer it to the world, because when you change, the world changes. Blessings to you, and thank you, thank you, thank you.